Hey everyone, so today we're going to talk about something really fascinating, how one of China's biggest movie stars, Huang Xiaoming, completely flipped his public image on its head. He went from this super polished, almost greasy CEO type to a raw, down-to-earth public servant. And believe me, it became a whole cultural moment. Let's dive in.
So, let me ask you, when you hear the name Huang Xiaoming, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a long time, it was probably a very specific kind of character, right? The handsome hero, the slick executive, just these larger-than-life roles. He was always playing these really polished guys. Just keep that image in your mind for a second.
Okay, this slide just says it all. On the left, you've got the greasy CEO, which was a nickname people online gave him for those smooth, sometimes a little over-the-top boss roles. And on the right, the earthy cadre. Now, a cadre is basically a local official, and that word earthy tells you everything. He's not polished, he's real, he's got dirt under his nails. He went from this big city elite to a totally grounded public servant, and that's the wild journey we're about to get into.
So, the big question is, how on earth did he pull this off? This wasn't just about taking a different role. This was a deliberate, step-by-step mission to completely tear down a public image that had defined his entire career for years. And it all started with this TV show, Small Town Big Matters. In it, he plays a guy named Cheng, a local official who has to deal with all these messy community problems. But this wasn't just another job for him. For Huang Xiaoming, this role was a total, and I mean total, professional rebirth.
All right, so the transformation had to start with the look. It was absolutely crucial that this character didn't just seem different on paper, but that he felt genuinely lived in, you know?
And his dedication to this was just wow. He didn't just throw on a costume, he basically created a new skin for himself. His face was darkened, he always had stubble, and get this, he even had dirt meticulously put under his fingernails every day. To top it all off, he learned to speak with the local dialect. Every single one of these details was like a weapon to erase the movie star and build a believable, real-life official from the ground up.
And this one simple act, it tells you everything you need to know. He wasn't some high and mighty official looking down on people. By squatting down to talk with the villagers, he was literally and figuratively breaking down that wall between the government and the people. He was showing them, hey, I'm one of you.
But it went so much deeper than just how he looked. There's this one incredible scene where he's arguing about policy, and he doesn't yell, he doesn't slam his fist, he just quietly taps his fingers on the desk. And in that tiny little gesture, you could feel the immense weight, the crushing exhaustion of a man carrying the problems of an entire town on his shoulders. It was all right there.
Now this kind of performance, this authenticity, it doesn't just happen. What was going on behind the scenes, Huang's commitment to becoming this character, was intense. Honestly, it was almost punishing.
Just look at this number. To get ready for the role, he lost 15 jin, that's about 16.5 pounds, in just over 10 days. I mean, think about that. That kind of rapid, intense weight loss just shows you the insane level of dedication he had to physically becoming this character.
So this was his game plan, his method. First, he memorized every single one of his lines a full month before shooting. That freed him up to just live in the moment on set. Then came the physical overhaul. He used dark oil to look weathered, wore zero makeup, and actively worked against his own movie star good looks. And finally, the daily grind. Only shaving every few days, keeping those fingernails dirty, it all ensured that the character's ruggedness felt constant, not just something they slapped on before the cameras rolled.
So all this preparation, the crazy weight loss, the intense study, the physical transformation, it was all like a slow burning fuse, and it was all leading to one single explosive moment, the one scene that would define everything.
Seriously, if you ask anyone who's seen the show, they'll tell you it all comes down to this one scene, the apology. This was it, the emotional peak of the entire series, and the ultimate test of all his hard work.
Can you just imagine the pressure? He's up on a stage, facing an audience of 1,000 extras, all playing other officials. He has to deliver a monologue that's 4 pages long, packed with emotion and complex policy stuff. And he does the entire thing from memory. No script, no teleprompter. There was zero room for a single mistake.
And then he delivers the line that just breaks you. Let it end here. Let it end with me, Zhang Cheng. His voice was trembling, but his eyes were firm, unwavering. In that one moment, he channeled every ounce of the character's pain, his sense of responsibility, his duty. It was absolutely gut-wrenching to watch. So after all of that incredible, intense work, how did people react? Did audiences actually buy this new, earthy version of an actor they thought they knew inside and out?
Well, the internet absolutely exploded. On Douyin, the hashtag Huang Xiaoming unrecognizable without makeup started trending like crazy. Over on Xiaohongshu, people were doing deep dives analyzing his civil servant style. And that simple clip of him just squatting by a wall, it became this iconic viral moment. He didn't just act in a show, he created a cultural conversation.
But I think this comment from a viewer is the ultimate verdict. They wrote, "I forgot this was Huang Xiaoming. He is Zheng Decheng." For any actor, that is the highest praise you can possibly get. It means you didn't just play a part, you disappeared, and you became the person.
So, the biggest takeaway here is pretty amazing. By intentionally shedding that polished, perfect image and embracing a raw, earthy, and deeply flawed character, he finally achieved the kind of massive critical and popular success he'd been chasing. It was a complete and total win, and he earned it through pure, unpolished authenticity.
And all of this leaves us with one final, kind of mind-bending question. Huang Xiaoming's journey really makes you think. To build one character that feels completely and totally real, how many pieces of your old self do you have to be willing to shatter first? Something to think about.